If only,
regret to inform you.
If only you knew how many hours we've spent not doing D&D.
D&D is the culmination. D&D is the
We've worked up to it.
digestif of one's night with one's compatriots.
Bros.
The summation of our evening is, and this is why we don't live stream.
That's right.
No, a night of real talk.
And
It's happening right here, right
really
now.
garbage keto snacks.
Gross.
I like it.
100% dark chocolate filled with MCT oil and just a touch of Splenda.
But they never made correctly. Always deformed just a little bit.
Yep.
Just a lot of it.
Melted entirely in transit. That's our night so far. This is GG No Re. We're a podcast on the internet that's really just about making those Benjamins. Our YouTube is monetized. Our Patreon is making at least $500 a month. Now, in what currency that is,
Pesos.
who can say?
No, it's not pesos.
Not even.
Maybe 500 pennies. It's at least 500 pennies.
Definitely. For sure. But
Net.
why even talk about such things? It's not relevant.
We're here to get rich.
And make money.
Like Post Malone.
I love you guys. Have a great night.
That's right.
Hey, why don't you say podcast for nerds at the beginning of the podcast anymore?
GG No Re, a podcast for nerds.
Daniel always changes things.
I don't like to pigeonhole people.
Do you think I have like a consistent intro to this thing?
Used to. We used to do like this little beat thing and say, a podcast for nerds.
Yeah, that's when
But-
we were normies.
Well,
That's not real.
Who's
no,
voice was
if
that,
you've
by the
known
way?
him for at least
That was the robot
5
voice.
years.
Was that a robot voice?
That was
No,
a
he
robot
changes
voice.
things.
That was my computer.
Okay.
Yeah, that was not a real British person because I don't know any. Well, no, false. I do know British people. No, false. I know the
You know
children
of
of
British
South
people.
African people.
I'm mostly British. I'm like, so according to 23andMe, I'm like 80% British. Yep,
It's worn off by now, though, right?
most of it.
Yeah. Sad.
I know people who do like great British impressions.
You know, Daniel retells a story of his high school drama club, but I'm not going to.
Are you gonna do it in British or
No.
in the British?
In British.
In the British.
There was a person.
British language?
Listen, there was a person afterward who said, "Who was that British exchange student?" But it was me.
What?
But it was me.
Was this
This was in Gardendale, Alabama, though.
This was in Gardendale, Alabama, a
Yeah,
suburb
that doesn't
of
count.
Birmingham.
which play was it? At the one with Audrey Hepburn in it in the
No.
actual movie?
Nope.
Wouldn't
I
it be
was-
Loverly?
That was not it. My Fair
okay.
Lady, it was not it. Although I was also a British person in that one.
Okay,
Basically, I just Britished it up my whole high school drama career.
you just hit on that one note over and over and over.
No. Okay, so when I did Cheaper by the Dozen, I was an American dad, but not American dad.
Not from the
You
show.
always you always playing daddy though.
I'm always daddy.
That daddy.
But tonight, I'm not playing daddy. Well, I'm playing RPG daddy. Mm-hmm. It's
We should
role-playing
call
game
it. We
time.
shouldn't call it
You're
Dungeon
still our
Master.
daddy, baby.
We shouldn't
still
call
our
it.
daddy.
We
Anything
call
for you, baby.
Coin our own term.
Anything for you, baby.
Table daddy.
Table daddy.
Saving the good stuff for you, baby. Go ahead. Sorry.
Thank you for that, Jim. Jaime. I appreciate that. We're going to play Hot Springs Island. It was developed by Texans, so all that's okay. Last time, we explored one hex very thoroughly. But this time, something's different. What's different is we have the hard copies up in here. Jacob Hurst, we making you a millionaire.
Hello. I like money.
Benjamins.
You're going to be drowning in money.
Your book smells delicious.
Yeah, so we've got the field guide for the players, and we have the dark of Hot Springs Island for the DM, which I'm thankful for because, let me get real with you guys, running it from a laptop that has the PDF open, not optimal. It's not the best thing. And I did not feel the spirit lead me to print out all the pages of the book.
Take the fresh breath of the spirit.
Seemed hard, and it seemed suboptimal. So we pitched in and got the hard copies, and life is better now because of it. So I recommend, and actually I do already have the PDFs. We're double dipping. Listen, I feel like Jacob Hurst has exploited us.
We shouldn't be fighting. We're brothers.
Not when it comes to business. We're nothing but an employer and employee. You said so yourself.
I was wrong.
No, you weren't.
Rom, can we talk about this?
There's only one thing I have to say to you. Workers of the world, unite! You have nothing to lose but your chains.
What's happened to you?
And he should pay us some money to recompense us for this. Actually, no, this is really great stuff. This is better than Watsy
It's a
John.
beautiful book.
So much better than what.
It is way more.
And I felt the same way about a lot of things. It's so good to have that physical copy in your hands.
It really is. Now I still
Especially
have
if it's sexy, like this.
Yes.
It's extremely sexy. In
Can
fact,
we say sexy on air?
we're making this podcast explicit, not because of anything we say, but simply because of the books we're using.
Literally said in our Discord thread that I wanted to rub it on my face.
Yep.
And I did.
It says hot right on the cover. Hot and...
John, I don't care. You passed me a note that says I probably offended the Pentecostals. I don't care. They're okay. They can deal with it.
Take the fresh breath of the Spirit.
All the Pentecostals we have listening to this show.
Listening to a Dungeons and Dragons podcast.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a ton.
But there aren't like a whole lot of actual Pentecostals anymore, let's be honest.
Nope. There are a ton of them.
A lot of them.
No.
In 2011, Pew Forum's study of global Christianity found that there were an estimated 279 million classical Pentecostals, making 4% of the total world population, and 12.8% of the world's Christian population Pentecostal.
Actual Pentecostals.
No, a
There's a
ton.
bunch.
They just love a good show, man.
They're
Listen.
growing.
I know a
different.
bunch.
Particularly not in America, they're growing.
Yeah, everywhere else,
That's true. That's
they're
probably
blowing
true.
up.
I'm only concerned with America.
Okay, that's okay.
Okay.
I mean, because that's obviously how we
Only
should
place
push
that matters,
it.
right?
Well,
You know?
the real thing is Pentecostalism is infecting every other normie denomination.
It's true. Getting their little weird things in there.
Yep.
Sounds hard, guys.
Listen, I go to a Presbyterian church, and you know what I see? I see people lifting hands.
You're like, put that down!
Put that down! You're supposed to be frozen chosen.
Yeah, that's right.
Get that fire down.
Don't make
Put that
people,
out.
Don't make
Throw
people
some-
think you feel.
Throw some ashes on that.
It's awful to actually like what you believe.
Listen.
It's the worst.
You can like it and be completely still.
It's true. Hey. We are just middle class white folk.
Why?
I don't feel, okay?
We keep it up inside. Fervent.
I ball everything up, and I don't let anybody know that there is anything in there.
There's stuff going on, but y'all don't need to know about that.
Yeah.
Is this Dungeons and Dragons?
This is how you play D&D.
This is literally my character, okay? I'm identifying with my character.
Okay, got you.
Tim's
Okay.
playing an
don't worry about
author. All right, so you guys were in Hex what?
The Black Sand.
It was like 13 or something. It was on the
Age 13, yeah.
Okay, and you thoroughly explored that. And if you are just coming into this episode and wondering why we're talking about Pentecostalism, don't worry about it. This is Hot Springs Island. It was made by Jacob Hurst, Swordfish Islands. It's an indie RPG thing, but it's OSR. It's not about like your feelings or whatever. It's about exploring places and getting money. And last time we explored one hex thoroughly. There's 3 important points of interest in each hex. He doesn't make that a secret. You can just see it on the sheet. There it is. So this week we have to figure out what to do next. And I would like to make a couple corrections from last week. Chartopia, which, okay guys, real talk, I mess with computers in my day job and in my night job. In fact, it's the only job I have. I will just say that I mess with computers in my job. And so I thought, you know what? There's nothing out there right now that does exactly what I want with respect to random tables. So let me figure out how to do it and then program it and then do that. I was halfway through doing that when I found the program that does exactly what I wanted and that I don't have to work for. It's called Chartopia. And if you go to chartopia.d12dev.com or just look up Chartopia on Google, you will find a collection of all the random tables in Hot Springs Island that you will need to run the game.
Snap.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
baby.
at first I thought it only had the dungeons, but it doesn't. If you scroll down to the bottom of the Hot Springs Island collection, it has all the hex types as well. So do that, and then you don't have to roll on like 1,000 3d6 tables like the book wants you to do. Chartopia is great because you have a gajillion random tables if you follow OSR blogs. However, collecting them and using them in a game is impossible unless you print them out, and that's still a hassle because you maybe have subtables you have to roll on, and it'll take 3,000 years for you to get the single result, and maybe the result's not that interesting.
And all that with one hand.
That's
What?
So Chartopia solves that by letting you create and use tables that other people have created and shared, but then put those into ad hoc collections that you can use for whatever purpose you have in mind. So maybe you have a collection of tables for a particular dungeon. Maybe you have it for a particular setting, which is Hot Springs Island. And then they're all on one page, and you just hit the roll button on a particular table, and it rolls the result for you. Everything you need is at your hands, and you can customize it. And I didn't have to make it. The thing is, no one knows about this. I'm like one of the few patrons that it has on Patreon. It's great. Everyone should use this, but no one does. Please use it.
Should be used a lot more.
It's just one guy and then one guy. One guy does the programming, one guy does the hype.
I will be using it as I continue to develop this thing I've been working on.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
The secret thing. So one day, we're going to have it out. What is the point of random tables? And is there a true advantage over a curated map, a curated space that is especially arranged? Not right now.
No, of
Another
course
time.
not. Do it. Use it.
CHAR?
Chart.
Chartopia.
Opia.
Okay, got it.
If you use random tables at all, it's worth it. You can upload, I think you can import tables from text files and stuff. It's the best.
And you should support them on Patreon.
Yeah, they're
Because
continuing.
it's a really good tool.
It's active. They're continuing to develop stuff. They're putting in, I think, monster stat blocks or something soon. Not that I care about that, but other people might. It's great. It's exactly what I wanted. And it's already exists and it's free. Just use it. Now, guys, according to the Hot Springs Island tech that we are using, I've got 6 poker chips here to represent the watches of 4 hours each. That represent, in total, a day. It is now the middle of the night. So I think it's 12 o'clock, midnight.
Well, you're wrinkling the book.
It's fine.
Don't wrinkle the book.
It's partly mine.
It's a very nice book.
It's midnight. Do you guys want to set up watches? You guys are on the beach, basically.
Yeah. I would be down for setting up points.
Right near the beach.
And Captain Hodel is a very light sleeper.
I assume it also is not cold enough to require blankets or tents or anything.
It's tropical.
I'm assuming,
Hot.
unless I hear differently, that its temperature is like Alabama in the summer.
Sure.
We're familiar with that.
Sounds awful.
Yes, you are sweating.
Sticky.
Very much so. In that case, Hodel is going to take first watch.
Yep.
Or watch this watch, I should say. And all is well. To get your full rest, you'll need to spend the next watch. Oh, I'll assume you spent the next watch. No, you'll have to spend 3 watches sleeping and keeping watch. Do you understand?
No.
So you need 8 hours to sleep.
Yes.
But if you're missing 4 hours,
Yeah.
you'll need 8 hours total.
Yeah.
So we need to spend the next hour with you sleeping.
So we should sleep for 12 hours?
Basically. Be
Woof.
half the day chilling out. If not, you are going to have one level of exhaustion.
Can I just be just a really light sleeper?
Nope.
And for 2 hours, just space out so we have 10 hours?
Nope.
Okay. I don't want a level of exhaustion.
Okay. Then
Okay.
we'll spend the 6 to 10 hour just getting breakfast, cooking up those rations, having fun.
Shepard still has his flask and he takes a few drinks and then he falls asleep like a baby.
Real tight. Now, it's 10 o'clock in the morning, ready for whatever the world will bring you. What do you guys want to do? There is a procedure, in case you guys have forgotten it. Let me refresh you. I'm the man who refreshes people. Investigate a point of interest further. Explore the current hex. You don't need to do that. You've already explored it. Travel to a neighboring hex or travel to a known point of interest.
Let's vote. South.
So, I want to metagame this.
Go ahead.
He said we came from the northeast.
Yes.
And then we shipwrecked and we ended up here. So either we got way off course and ended up over down here, or we were headed south around the island to get to...
I can tell you the answer to this.
Okay.
I talked with Jacob in the meantime because I wasn't sure if there was a port or harbor that the guild had on this island. There's no guild presence on the island.
No guild presence on the island. Okay.
The guild presence is on an island to the south of this island.
So we were not coming here. We are marooned.
You were going to be here,
Mm-hmm.
but you weren't intending to wreck here. They were going to come, pick you up in a couple weeks, maybe.
Okay, but do we know where they were going to pick us up from?
We can say that they were going to pick you up from right where you are. Let's just
Okay.
keep it simple.
So we just need to survive here for a few weeks until they come get us. That's what we're thinking right now.
Right, but if you want to get rid of your indentured servitude, you're going to need to get some
Get
money.
some cash. So this is a good opportunity for us to try to find some loot because we have some downtime on this island before we get rescued. Okay. Well, in that case, I don't care where we go. We can head in towards the center. Go check out this volcano. I've never seen lava before.
sounds pretty rad.
Sounds dangerous.
What about you, Dr. Shepard?
Well, I think it's more risky.
I say doctor mockingly.
Interesting. I was chief of surgery, son. Chief of surgery where I came from.
I guarded the king.
Well, I guess I would have, brought you back up. You and your boys and your King's Guard would have healed you back up, put you back on the field.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't have been alive if not for me and my people.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I don't care. Take a sip of this flask.
I'm looking at some of these points of interest, see if any of them sound cool.
Yes, the Hot Springs Island player's map comes with some points of interest already filled in. So John is now investigating that. So is Tim. And they are figuring out where they would like to go
I'm
next.
looking at the actual hard copy book right now, so my opinion means more.
Which
That's
is beautiful.
true.
It's just a beautiful book. I can't underline that enough.
It's great.
It is. It's really awesome.
We could try the Obsidian Hydra.
That sounds safe.
How about no?
That sounds completely...
Is there something that says treasure trove?
I would be more scared of that.
Does it say booty?
Booty.
So right next to us, the whale graveyard is to the north of us. Because we're in HS-13, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. To the north of us, we do see there's the whale graveyard. It's the next closest thing. Wait, 12. Yep.
And that sounds safer.
I say we go
That
where
sounds
no
safer
one.
than the Obsidian Hydra.
We should
It
go
sure
where no
does.
man. We should go where no man has gone before.
Well, I don't know if
Into
no
the-
man has gone there before, but we have no record of HS-09.
No man.
Wait,
No man.
sorry, that's completely opposite side of the island. Okay. This is going left to right. Top
You can go to
right,
8,
top
12, or 18.
12, we have no record of anything in 12.
8. Wait, what's
12. 12 it is. Let's go to 12. We're going to 12.
So
west.
west of us.
DM 12.
You've got to go west, northwest, or southwest.
I do outrank you all. I am a captain. So
Right.
Captain Hodel says we're going to 12.
Okay, you're saying
I'm a
this one
knight.
doesn't count right here. They have to be numbered.
I'm a royal knight.
You're in HS-13.
Yeah.
We're going to 12.
The lava river, the whale graveyard, we know of those two things. And then we know 12 has nothing that we know of.
We're going to 12.
You got the known knowns,
He
the
says-
known unknowns, the unknown knowns, and the unknown unknowns.
All right,
Thank you.
let's go to 12, to the west.
Do you know what I'm talking about, John, or are you too much of a millennial?
Ugh.
I'm drinking whiskey and playing D&D. That's all I know.
Okay.
Well, there was somebody
Don't care.
when we got in this war in Afghanistan and Iraq.
Y'all remember that? You remember George W. Bush?
What's Iraq?
And Rumsfeld. Anyways.
Anyway.
Is that like a...
Only
Yeah.
90s kids will remember.
it doesn't matter anymore.
Wait,
even though we're still in the
The
war
war
in
on
Afghanistan.
Iraq? Is it like a...
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's an Apple
Yeah,
It's
product.
in Iraq.
That's right.
It's their new,
It's an extremely expensive shelf to put your stuff on, and it charges
Is it a
while it's
store
on
to
the
buy
shelf.
shelves?
Yeah.
Iraq? It's like modern shelves?
Yep.
Mhm.
Smart shelves?
Yep.
Hey, shelf, give me a box of cereal.
That's what it's all about,
That's
John.
not what it is. That's not
So,
it.
It gives you avocado toast.
Okay.
No, you just set your devices on it, and it charges them.
And
That's
then it
all.
says, I'm sorry, but I don't recognize your voice. You can program your voice and your... Go ahead.
That's only Google, not Siri.
Do we
Siri
have-
Siri will answer anybody.
Do we have
Siri's a whore.
the...
I've got a clean
Did you hear that,
recording of that. Let me put that on a soundboard. Siri's a whore. Siri's a whore. Siri's a whore.
Do we have our lights on?
Hey, Siri.
For D&D?
Hey, Google. It's time for D&D.
Sorry, I can't help
I
with
can never remember the command.
Why don't you just say something simple?
Hey Google, let's play D&D.
Oh, baby, you know it.
Oh, you got it right.
Hey,
I forgot.
Hey,
It didn't
Google.
work. Oh, there it
It's,
goes. Okay.
Oh, so much nicer.
It is
Those lights.
What happened? I can't tell. I'm colorblind.
So the lights over there turned to red, and the lights above us turned from bright white to soft white.
do you see light over there?
Or rather, bright white to white.
Does
I
it
do
look illuminated?
It just looks dim. I couldn't tell you that it's red.
Does it look?
It looks
There's light.
illuminated.
You can see light.
Let me tell you what. Modern video games and their colorblind settings are a godsend.
I bet.
Not
I
bad.
love it.
It's a
I
new
can
thing
actually
for you.
see things now.
Look at this.
It's
Look at this
fantastic.
garbage. It's great.
That's why
What if everyone said you were just making it up?
That's why my KD ratio is off the charts.
Quick question.
That you can't see the color. You're making
Horizon.
it up. That's stupid.
When you played Horizon Zero Dawn, did it ever feel like everything was... Whenever you started moving fast, it was kind of hard to focus on things?
Yes, because the motion blur is stupid.
Turn off. Yeah.
Can you
And
turn it off?
if ever there's an option to turn off motion blur, turn it off.
That's called
Gosh,
ADD.
I hate it.
It's not great.
Can you turn off motion blur?
I had to like
I don't
move
remember.
as far away from my TV as I could get to play because it was giving me a headache.
I think in console games, if They
Usually
frequently
can.
Yeah, that kind of thing they can easily turn on off.
So in VR,
But
you
I don't
really,
remember.
really want motion blur. You want like all the motion blur.
Oh, really?
And
Yeah.
what?
in VR,
Oh, in VR.
Otherwise, you
it's too much. Too much for you to process visually.
because your brain says, "Listen, we're not moving," but your eyes are saying you're moving. You must have eaten something horribly wrong. You've been poisoned. You're gonna die. So you better throw up right now. Yeah, that's actually evolutionarily what your brain's doing. So people would eat things.
Some people equate it to.
And they would be unto death after eating them, and they would throw them up.
Okay.
And it was good.
Okay, I get you.
And part of being poisoned is that your equilibrium is all off, and you're all like dizzy and unbalanced, and like your visual input, which is like the majority of your brain, isn't matching your
Visual
equilibrium.
intake.
Yep. So
So
it's
you
all
throw it
off,
up, and then you're fine.
and you're
Maybe.
fine. Well, maybe
Yeah.
maybe it's 30% of the time that you're fine. But that's good. That's an advantage.
And your
because
brain-
other people are eating stuff and they're just dying.
And your brain says, roll tide, let's throw it up.
And you reproduce. You go back to your honey, and then your
Shorty?
neighbor's honey, and
Yeah.
then your other neighbor's honey. Great. So, anyways, Hot
gotta
Springs
take-
Island.